Got
All right.
turned around.
All right, I'm going to start this and we're live now. Hold on just a sec. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the IRACE4AWARENESS Winter Challenge Tournament. Today's event will be at Atlanta Motor Speedway with a 100-lap shootout. If you would, just please stand by for a message from our sponsors. Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen to the broadcast. As I stated before, we are at Atlanta Motor Speedway for a 100-lap shootout. And in the broadcast booth to me, I have again Mr. Josh Sheets.
Thank you very much, Scott. And this is going to be a very exciting race today. We do not have only the greatest racers in the world, but we also have the greatest terrible racers in the world racing for a great cause. And this is going to be a great show and great deal.
I hope so too. I'm going to pull ahead and pull Luis Salzmazo into the broadcast booth with us and just listen to what he has to say about this event.
I'm good, brother. How are you? Yeah, I think we are all very excited about tonight.
Can you tell us a little bit about this event and the upcoming races and just what you'd like to see here tonight?
Sure. This series of races tonight and the next 3 races that we're going to have that form this tournament that we put together. The whole idea is to give drivers that are part of the iRacing community and are members of a couple different leagues that we are all friends with, people at ECR, people from One Up Motorsports, people from Young Guns Racing, Moist Motorsports, and a lot of different places. Before the season in iRacing, before the NIS races, those series start, people to go back and start working on building setups again. A lot of people during the off season, during the end after the NASCAR season ended, they stopped working on setups. They ran a lot of fixed setups where you cannot mess around with the settings in the car. So this is a way for everybody to start slowly getting back into building setups and getting comfortable doing that thing. So we put together this 4 race tournament with beginning tonight in Atlanta. Next week we're going to have a race at Charlotte, another 1.5-mile track, but racing at night to give a little twist to it. After that, we're going to race in Auto Club in Fontana, California, a very big track, almost like a super speedway, but with its own characteristics. And we close this tournament with the last race in Daytona in preparations for the Daytona 500, for the beginning of the iRacing season, for league seasons, that whole thing. So it's going to be a good twist, a good mix and match of tracks, different styles, different things for people to start getting back into it and have fun. And that's pretty much what we're all here.
Very good words to hear, Louise. Right now, I am showing the audience your car that is painted.
It was a painting that we worked on, me and the team from Jaws Graphics, my design company. That we wanted to do something different for this event. That is not a paint scheme that we run in leagues or anything like that. It's part of our efforts to try to raise awareness towards different subjects. Myself, other drivers, uh, we are involved in this endeavor that we called IRACE4AWARENESS, that try to reach out to people and just try to make people think about different stuff, different things that we might not realize that people have to go through. So this iRacing community is a very big community. A lot of people live through this, race every day in different leagues, broadcast, do a lot of different things. So every time that we have a window like this one, an opportunity like this one, just to nothing specific, no topic specific, just raising awareness towards a lot of different things: autism, epilepsy, breast cancer, child abuse, uh, world hunger, climate change, different things that are happening all over the world, and we don't normally pay attention in our day-to-day activities. So if we can every day just take a moment just to think about what else is happening outside of our lives, is always a good thing. So it's a good thing, and hopefully everybody, by looking at the car, is gonna see and gonna think about something different for at least 30 seconds when they're looking at this. So that was the whole point behind. And you're gonna notice that a lot of the guys are running specific paint schemes. We have paint schemes dedicated towards autism. We have paint schemes with a lot of different ribbons. We had events last year that try to focus those particular topics. So you're going to see a lot of this, different paint schemes, different things. So keep an eye for those things. It's going to be interesting.
Very nice words from you, Louise. I hope the audience got a good look at your car. I panned around it pretty well, showing off the different decals and what you'd like it to stand for.
That was the idea. That was the idea. And hopefully it's easy to spot me on the track. So it's not going to be that much difficult to see this rainbow car coming.
Nope, not at all. I'm going to go ahead and move you back up and have a few words with Josh before we begin the qualify.
Yes, sir. We have approximately 10 more minutes of practice, so I'm going to let everybody know and let everybody start to dial up and get ready for qualifying. Thanks, guys. Have an awesome broadcast.
Thank you, Louise. Have a good race.
Yes, sir.
User was moved out of your channel.
Yes, it is, and quite frankly, I am very surprised at the turnout of the company that we have here. We have a pro in our midst. We have a gentleman by the name of Tyler Hudson, and he also runs the Peak Antifreeze series that's in the iRacing program, and we're grabbing the attention of all kinds of individuals.
I'm zoomed in on him right now as we speak. He is appearing to not have any sponsorship on his car, just his number with the regular iRacing defaults. I'm not sure if he just doesn't have anything or if it might be trading paints, but usually trading paints wouldn't show anything.
Yeah, most of these pro guys have sponsors, and he's probably in discussion with a sponsor, and he's probably not getting paid to do this race, so he's probably just going to be running just a flat white.
All right. What's the conditions here today at the track as far as temperature and what we're looking at to see?
Well, the air temperature is 79 degrees, very comfortable for Atlanta, Georgia. We have the track temperature at 112 degrees, which causes some slippery situations. We have winds coming out of the northwest, 9 miles an hour, so it's going to be a pretty slippery coming out of 4 because the winds going to be pushing up against you. So we're going to be watching turn 4 and see how everybody handles that corner throughout the race.
And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, they call it Hot Lanta.
Hot Atlanta is correct. There's going to be some warm tires slipping and sliding, and it's all going to be for a good cause. So I'm pretty excited about this.
I am too, sir. I am too. As far as this race goes, we were racing Fontana the other night, or Auto Club as it's now called, and it seemed that track was pretty slick as well.
Yeah, it's pretty slick. It's mostly because of the high speeds we were turning, and that's going to be the same reason here too. We'll be running close to 195 to 200 miles per hour going in each corner, so the tires will either have to warm up quick, or you're just going to have the wrong setup in. There's going to be a lot of people adjusting their cars every single stop just to keep up with the track.
That's very true. Now, this isn't a very big track itself either.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent size. Intermediate track is about 1.5 miles, just enough. There's no restrictor plate, so it calls for very fast racing. I did a few laps earlier in practice with these guys. I probably did about 20-25 laps, and most people are struggling out of turn 3 and 4, and it's going to be very interesting if the rubber gets put down enough to put some grip down, or if that makes it worse. Only time will tell.
Exactly. Who are any big names you're looking at here tonight? As far as who do you think will be in the top 10?
I'm looking at who's in the top 10 now. We see John Schweikart. I mean, he was a very strong contestant in the ECR championship last year. Brian Wilderson, he was right up there at the top. Ken Worley, he's going to be a strong one. Luis Salmaso, our hostess with the mostest, he is great. Tyler Hudson, we spoke about him earlier. He's got pro license. He's always up there at the top, even at the Peak and the Free Series. We've got Aaron Burge, Anthony Thitchner, Justin Bland, John Cottle. I mean, he's very strong. We look on down the list. Chuck Harrell, we spoke about him last week. Nicole Johnson, she's always one that sneaks up there and gets you. I mean, same all the way around. I mean, anybody can win it really, but my money will be on the top 5.
All right. And as you see here, we have exactly. Hold on just a sec. We have 31 people running tonight. 2 that have yet to put lap times in. I don't know if they're just watching or if it might just be down to 29 itself.
Yeah, some of them will come in late and they'll be like, well, there's no point in coming out on the track. And truthfully, it's better to show up early and do some practice laps. I just showed up just to test my setup for the upcoming season, and I tell you, it's going to need some work, I'm telling you.
Was it real slippery for you?
It's very slippery. I had to tighten it way up to where it was almost slow going around, just so I wouldn't spin out. On a practice sheet, I'm like 22nd out of 29, which I've never been real strong at the 1.5 miles, so it's a learning curve.
Well, I mean, it's just a matter of making sure you're getting the right setup and trying to outrun the other people, but still not losing control.
Yeah, that is correct. I'm usually not a open set kind of guy. I'm usually a fixed set, so this is a whole new ball game for me, and it's very exciting to use my brain instead of being smart at it.
Let's see if I can get a ride along here with Brian Wilderson, who's currently holding first for this practice. Okay, apparently he is not in our chat.
And a bunch of people probably resting for practice or getting those last few tweaks in.
Two minutes and 25 seconds left to qualify. Well, left of the practice, and then we'll be qualifying, which is 5 minutes and 2 laps around.
Yeah, I believe it'll be a single car qualifying run, and it'd be pretty exciting to see who gets up top, because here in practice you possibly have drafting help, all kinds of different situations. In qualifying, you're by yourself, so it'll be interesting to see who's really fastest by yourself.
Right, because you'll have no one to draft off of, and this really puts your setup to the test.
It does. I'm not down in the Brian Wilson, John Schweikart, anybody up the top. I mean, they probably have very strong cars. I'm just curious on if they set them times by themselves or they was using someone else to help them.
I'm currently in Mark Vega's car, and he's holding a 28.614 for his fastest.
And I'm checking out Brian Wilson's time here, his lap that he set to be the first fastest, and there is no one around him, so he done that quick lap by himself.
And that must be one heck of a setup he's running to get 27.9 while everyone else can't even catch him.
Oh yeah, I want to be hitting enough players say, hey man, I want to set up.
Oh, I don't blame you there. I mean, you got John Schweikart, who's only 0.04 of a second behind him, but even then, it's Ken Worley in third. As far as his practice goes, that's 500ths of a second behind John Schweikart. So there's a little bit of a gap there between first, second, and third.
That is just one blink or one sneeze. I mean, it could have been anything that'd make them be that much of a gap between each other. I mean, you can't even breathe in between that gap.
No, that's quite hard itself. All right, this practice is about to end, and they will be going into qualifying.
I don't know if you knew this, Scott, but Atlanta was reconfigured in the late 90s, and the back straightaway used to be the front straightaway.
I heard about that. I wasn't. I was just a child then, so I wasn't really into the whole racing.
Yeah, it was pretty much a standard oval back then, which there was no dogleg, no nothing. It was just a front stretch, back straightaway, and they reconfigured it into what you see here today, and still exciting racing all in all.
Very exciting. If let's see, they should have 2 laps and 5 minutes. So if anybody that's watching would like anything to say for tonight, please go ahead. The chat is open, and comments are welcome.
By all means, I'll be more welcome. Give a shout out if you're out there. And feel free to announce any illnesses or anything out there that you or your family members are going through, and we'll give you a shout out. Just hang in there.
Yes, of course. This is what this race is about. It's awareness for diseases in children that can be deadly, if not put a big burden on your family or anybody's family that you might know out there.
Yeah, autism, muscular dystrophy, or even worldly problems like civil war over in the Middle East or in Africa, or this global warming that everybody talks about. Whatever problem is out there, we just want to raise awareness to that and have fun while we do it.
Exactly. As qualifying wraps up here, if you would, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that, Josh. We are all looking out for you and looking out for your family, and hope the best.
Yeah, I appreciate that. She has been hanging on to it for quite some time. If you guys did not see the chat or speaking of this later, I put on the chat that my aunt has autism, and she is going on 56, no, 57 years of age, and she's hanging in there nice and strong. She loves her wrestling and racing, and if she was watching this, she would love this too.
Well, that's great. Well, hopefully, hopefully everything will be all right. Personally, myself, I know a couple of people around my age with MS, and they're fighting every day, and they're getting treatments, and the treatments seem to be working, but it's still nothing to mess with.
No, it is not. None of these illnesses are anything to joke about. Hopefully, one day there will be a cure, but for right now, we have to live with it being out there, and it's just sad that it couldn't be out there. Our friend and colleague, Mr. Michael Kenner,
I'm gonna have to hold on. I'm gonna have to stop you right there.
10-4.
We were asked not to use names or anything of that matter.
That's fine. That's fine. We had a friend who had issues with that in his family, and um, he had to do all that deal. Anyway, on to the race. We're gridding up. Looks everybody's ready to go.
And it looks like the top 10 is going to be John Schweikart, Ken Worley, Chris Steele, Anthony Fitchner, Nicole Johnson, Terry Griffey, Luis Salmazo, Tony Diamond Tenney, Craig Sykes, and Mark A. Vega.
Yeah, it looks like John picked up 2/10 on his practice time, so way to go for him. Brian Wilson, who put down that fast lap in practice, he picked up a 10th. Of course, there's a complete difference between practice and qualifying. Practice times are pretty much race trim. Qualifying is qualifying trim, which means a different percentage of tape, which means the temperature of how hot the engine gets.
Well, I'm glad you know that information, because myself, I do not.
Pretty much 100% tape will not allow any air to go into your front end of your car, and will cause drag. It's like a huge parachute.
Is that why at Daytona and Talladega they run little to no tape?
A little to no tape, because they want to be able to be right behind somebody and pushing them as long as they can. If they have a lot of tape on, they'll run hot, and they'll have to get out of line, which will cause a slow car. But in qualifying by yourself at these 1.5 miles, you need as much tape as you can. In qualifying trim, that is.
Right, yeah, because you want the best results. And it looks like the pace car is taking off, and everybody's trying to close in together as we get around to this pace lap.
I apologize earlier, ladies and gentlemen. I did not know we was going to hold off on names or names of people with illnesses, and I apologize for that. But you know who you are, and this one goes out to you and your family.
I just wanted to make sure. That's why I held up on you real quick.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I really don't want to be the one that throws anybody's name out there like that when they didn't want it.
Right, like that's why I did mention the names of the people that I know with MS, and other people that I know with other disabilities, and other not disabilities, but other things that are very deadly.
Here we go. Pace car's off, Scott.
Race car is off, and it's green, green, green.
John Schweikart with a great start. He gets off to a good car length lead. Good side-by-side action between John Cottle and Aaron Burge. Looks like Aaron Burge will edge him off on top here.
They're still running, though, side by side pretty well, though. There is quite the gap between 8th and 9th coming around to the second lap.
Chuck Harrell must have had a bad start because he shuffled way back into the 18th, but no, now 23rd spot, so he's just falling back and back and back.
It looks like he's having a little bit of issues. I don't know if his car's running too hot already, or if he's just not getting the right racing line down.
Well, we spoke of this last week during the truck race. He's one of those guys that will stick to the fixed setup when he does not have one or either still working on one. He will stick to that fixed setup, so he's probably waiting on it to kick in.
What is your take on fixed setups? I mean, I know you probably use yourself a mixture of either fixed or your own, but how do you feel about them?
I feel that fixed setups are great for people who does not want to take time to make a setup. Like me, I work a lot, so I don't have time to come here and fix up a race car to go fast. And in other hands, it's good to have an open setup so you can fix it up to where it can go around the track just how you want it. So you don't have to worry about what iRacing has put down here or anything like that.
Right. Yeah, myself, I run fixed setups just because I haven't got the grip of having my own setups yet. And it looks like John Schweikart, there's quite a gap between first, second, and third coming up here in the front.
Yeah, they're just pretty much not wanting to burn each other's tires out, so they're giving each other enough space so they can do their thing, letting the cars come in. I'm also looking back here at Tyler Hudson in the 0-1. He's slowly coming back up to the front. He started in like 20th, and he's in the 13th spot right. He started 19th. He's already in the 13th position.
That's not bad at all. For being 7 laps in, that's a pretty good jump for him.
And right behind him is Jason Miller, and he started 20th, and he's in the 14th, so he's following Tyler Hudson to the front.
You know, as long as these people get the drafting on them, they should be catching up with each other. And also not running their tires too hot early in this race.
We got a good gaggle of cars here for the battle for third place. Looks like Aaron Burge is going to make a move on John Cottle, and Anthony Titchener is right behind him. Anthony Titchener's looking high on Aaron. Good battle here for third.
Because say it looks like Luis Salmazlo was closing up on them as well, trying to close the gap between them.
Crash in the dog leg. Crash in the dog leg.
Do you happen to see who that was or who was involved in that?
I did not quite see who got into it, but I seen someone turn up into another, and they just went up into the wall together. Looks like it's Mark Vega.
see if we can find out what happened. Let's go to an instant replay.
Looks like Mark Vega and Tyler Hudson went underneath Mark Vega, and they made it 3 wide, and Mark Vega gave Tyler Hudson room, and looks like he veered up into Tony's front bumper and turned Mark up into the wall.
Well, that's unfortunate. It looked like he took quite a bit of damage too.
Looks like Jason Miller, we was bragging about him earlier, and looks like he possibly got some damage going underneath Mark Vega.
Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I could not get back that far, but from what Josh says, that's what happened. I apologize. I will try to fix that for the next caution.
Yeah, it seems like last week during the truck race I couldn't go back that far, and this week you can.
Yeah, that is quite odd. And as we look at pit road here, it looks like everyone that has entered on this lead lap has come off. And it looks like Brian Wildison is going to lead this pack around as they come with 2 to go, I do believe.
I believe so, and I'm looking through here, and it seems to me the same guys that were up front during qualifying and practice are still up front. So this is going to be very, very interesting how this plays out.
It is. It's going to make for a very good race, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hope that we try to keep the cautions to a limit, but whatever happens, happens. I mean, we're in lap 12 now, and we had the first caution, but who knows what can happen on a race day, especially with the track being this slick.
That is correct. I'm very surprised we haven't had a single car spin yet, but you know, anything can happen here with us with all this wind shifting. I'm still looking to see if it's going to be any more, and yes, the wind has kicked up to 11 miles per hour from the north, so I mean, it could be anybody's ball game. Mother Nature might be playing a hand in this one. Virtual reality.
Exactly, and you know, with the settings as they are, this is the iRacing settings itself. This is can be quite dangerous. I was watching around the track, and some people in the back were getting a little sideways, but they were holding on to it. But it's still, you need to know how you want to run your line and make sure you're not wearing your tires, or else you're just going to be up into the wall or down into the grass. And as they come around the backstretch here, ladies and gentlemen, they are doubling back up to getting ready to go to green.
They've been wanting to go. What do you say next time we drag some of these leaders down here and ask what the track feels like?
Yeah, of course. There's probably going to be another caution. There might not be, but who knows? I mean, especially with the conditions today that they are running with.
Right now, I only know what the conditions were in practice. I do not know how much has changed since practice, but we'll find out next caution if there ever will be. This pace car is going to roll off right now. We're about to go green flag.
Green flag, ladies and gentlemen. Brian Wildson off the front, and trailing right behind him is John Schweikart, right on his tail.
Oh yeah, Schweikart, this is a track that's in his favor. He loves these tracks, and he's always strong everywhere he goes, so he's always a favorite. He is right there on Brian Wildison, and it's going to be interesting to see how he gets by him.
And I'm looking at John Schweikart right now from a chase view, and it looks like Brian Wildson just slid a little bit coming out of 3 and 4, and a little smoke coming up from the tires. This track has gotta be slippery as ice.
Yeah, one thing he's got to remember is tires is everything at these big tracks, so it'll be interesting to see if he's going to save his tires or he's going to run them off trying to stay in front of John, and John looks underneath Brian Wilson for the lead.
He's still pushing. Oh, he got right in front of him, but I think Brian's going to catch right up to him.
We got Jason Miller back here for 11th place, side by side with Ken Worley, Mark Bratcher, and Justin Bland is just side by side.
Now, it seems like that would be the way to run it, this not single line, but try to get people beside you so you can get a draft from both sides, or try to get a draft from both sides, and try to push both lines up to the front.
Well, here draft is something, but it's mostly momentum. I mean, if you can't keep your RPMs up going around the corner, you're going to be pretty much a huge parachute, and the guys are just going to be going around you left and right. You got to keep the momentum up to gain positions and keep positions.
Right. I'm looking at Anthony Thitchner here, and he's pushing for third, but it's looking like he's smoking the tires just a little bit.
Looks like it. He's got a good angle going into 3 and 4, but well, yeah, he's looking good. He's looking very good.
It looks like there's about a half second between John Schweikart and Brian Wildson.
If you have looked at clips last season between these two, it's like this all last season, or most of last season, is these two going head to head for 1 and 2.
And it looks like there's about a 2-second gap between John Cottle and Anthony Thitchner.
I'm looking here at Tyler Hudson. He's in 9th place. He's going up against our host, Luis Almaso, for 8th place, and looks like he's gaining up on him.
Oh, you are correct. He's getting that momentum down. Louise running high just a bit, while Tyler Hudson's running low.
Back here for 11th position, looks like Ken Worley and Justin Bland's going at it. And Justin Bland goes by him on the outside. Not much of a fight there. Ken Worley probably let him by to save his tires. Justin Bland gets loose. He gets up in the marbles. He gets a little tap of the wall. And Justin Bland gets into the wall. And he's spinning. He saved it. He's into the grass.
And that will not be a caution, ladies and gentlemen. He just had to slow down and let the car do its thing. He's taking a little bit of damage on the right side, right rear, though.
Flag is out.
Got a caution.
Alright, let's see who got that caution.
Looks like Tony Gennaro.
Let's go ahead and see if we can pinpoint it here. This is roughly about 40 seconds ago. Oh, he got loose coming out of corner number 2 and hit the wall. And, and hit the wall again. That had to cause a lot of damage. His car is smoking black.
Seems like they're coming off pit road, and it looks like John Schweikart got out of the pit road first, and Wilson's behind him. Aaron Berg looks like he got out in third. Stephen Massey looked like he came out in fourth, and Anthony Titchener coming out in fifth.
Still though, with John Schweikart and Brian Wilderson leading the pack. It's you never know. It's a few spot changes, but these two seem to be dominating the front of the pack tonight.
What do you say we get John Schweikart down here and see what he has to say?
Sure thing. Let me go ahead and find him.
User was moved to your channel.
Doing pretty good. How you doing? Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. You know, I mean, the track is so slick with as hot as it is, but I mean, we're having a blast out here, and it looks like some good racing. We had two 10-lap green flag runs, I believe. So, just kind of everybody getting settled in with their setup, and we'll see some green flag racing here for quite a while. I think here soon.
Now, John, does the track feel any different from from practice qualifying race? Is there any difference, or does it feel exactly the same?
I mean, it's really close. We haven't had enough time for it to rubber up yet, and I'm not sure what it started at. But if it rubbered up, it would definitely change quite a bit. But I think it's fairly close to the same.
Well, that's good to know. We still got a lot of laps to run here, though. About 73 more to go. You know, do you think the track's going to change a lot within that amount of time?
I don't think so. I think kind of how it is now, it's how it's going to be at the end. Maybe just a very slight bit of difference, but it's probably going to be just like it is now.
Well, all right. As you guys are coming around, you must be on one to go, as everybody seems to be doubling up.
Yeah, we're one to go here on the backstretch.
Well, all right, John. I will move you back up, and hopefully you have a good rest of the race.
I appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good time broadcasting. Hopefully some people watching, enjoying this. It's a lot of fun and a good cause to put this on for.
Well, thank you. It is a very good cause, and I will go ahead and move you back up now, sir.
All right, thanks, sir.
User was moved out of your channel.
Pace car moving into the pit road. And green, green, green.
Again, John Schweikart looks like he's moving out to the front, and he's got a good car length lead, and a pretty good restart there for him and Brian Wilson.
They got a big pack coming up behind them, though. They're trying to run as close as they can without moving as far away from them.
And Aaron Berg goes past Stephen Massey and Anthony Fitchner and Tyler Hudson right beside. Tyler Hudson gets into the wall just a little bit. Not enough to hurt his car, I don't believe.
No, but enough to slow him down just a hair.
From the looks of it, he's not slow at all. He's pushing everybody. He had to check up for Stephen Massey, and it's allowing a lot of people to go by him. Comes Ken Worley on by him.
He must have got a little loose. Looks like Aaron Burge is now in third.
Yep, looks like it.
With Anthony Fitchner and Luis Almazo closing in on him too.
Looks like 61 of Josh Mayhew got into the inside wall, and it looks like he's done for.
Yeah, his car's still up pretty bad. I don't think it's going to be enough to cause a caution, though.
No, it is not. He's already towed into the pits, and he's from the speech here and then the team speech. He's done for.
Let's see if we can pull him down and find out what happened. Josh, welcome to the broadcast booth. How are you doing tonight, sir?
How you doing?
Pretty well. Yourself? What happened there?
Andrew, I believe it was Andrew Ackerman, and I don't know who else. They were running. Andrew slowed up. I just went low to get out of his way, and I'm not too sure. He just came down in me, and we're done for the night.
Well, that's unfortunate. Did you enjoy the first part of the race that you were able to run, though? I mean...
Oh, yeah. Definitely good racing. Real hot temperature track tonight, real slick. Had to be real careful on entry and exit, but it was really enjoyable.
Well, that's good to know. We were talking with John Schweikart here a few minutes ago, and he said that the track is very slick, even running in front like this.
Yeah, it's real slick. Real slick. Got to be on your toes tonight. So the closing laps are going to be really something to watch.
Well, all right, Josh. Thank you for coming down in the booth, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of the night.
Yeah, man. Anytime. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
User was moved out of your channel.
Sitting here looking here, Scott, pretty much everybody has settled in. Not a whole lot of people in a hurry to get to the front. They just probably do not want to spin out and cause another caution.
No, it looks like they're pretty spread out between the top five as well. There's about 1.2 seconds behind. Brian's about 1.2 seconds behind John.
I see a few battles going on the track, but pretty much everybody's giving and taking, being very considerate to one another.
And it looks like Travis Solenberg lost it a little bit coming out of corner number 4. He saved it. Oh, it looks like a caution flag, ladies and gentlemen.
Looks like Jason Miller's in the grass right now. I don't know what happened.
Let's see if we can find out.
Copy.
Looks like Matthew Hibbs got into the wall pretty hard and he said he was done.
I'm working at Jason Miller here. A second, let's try to find out if he got a little too low or got into the wall himself. looks like he got bumped and trying to find who that was that went into the wall. I think that's who you said.
See the 95 of Kurt Quest. He's in the pit road getting repairs done, so he got some of it.
Yeah, that's who he bumped into. He got up into him and forced 95 up into the wall. Looks like John Schweikart is going to be leading this pack yet again, ladies and gentlemen. He is giving them a run for their money tonight.
I hate to do this to you, Scott, but we're having some power issues here, and I've done cut out once.
Oh, that is unfortunate to hear. It must be the weather must be pretty bad down there.
No, not at all. It's clear skies and everything, so it's pretty much maybe a line in the ground or something. I have no idea, but the internet shut off once. I'm surprised I'm still in here.
All right. Well, if you like, you're welcome to leave. I think I'll be able to do this. But I appreciate you being in here with me tonight, and hopefully I can talk to a few of these guys.
Yeah, it's a pleasure being in here, and I'm just happy that we're raising awareness for a lot of different causes, a lot of different illnesses, and hope everybody enjoys the rest of the show, rest of the program, and looks like John Schweikart will be the one to beat, but who knows? Track situation, more rubber will come down. Maybe his setup will not like the rubber.
Exactly. Well, all right, Josh, thank you for being in here, and I hope you have a good night, sir.
Yes, sir. Everybody have a good night, and I'll see y'all next week.
All right.
User disconnected from your channel. User was moved to your channel.
Alright, man, alright so far. Yeah, it definitely feels like it's a good car. We're trying to keep it under us here. Had to make a few adjustments here as the track progresses. I can feel it getting looser and looser. So we're trying to, got a couple guys out here as teammates. We're trying to make it feel good and just keep the car up near the front. I don't think we have anything for John or Brian. Brian will probably work his way back up here again, but it's definitely been fun, man.
Well, that's good to know. I just looking in your in-car view right now, and looks like you guys got around the backstretch and go to green. So I'll let you continue your racing, sir. Thank you very much for being in the booth with me tonight.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Hope y'all enjoy.
Thank you.
User was moved out of your channel.
Alright, as they come into turn 3, let's check the results here for a second. But it's going to be Anthony Sitchner in second, and the pace car is in, and it's going to look like green flag racing. Go, go, go! John Schweikart with a heck of a pull-off coming out of that first corner. Or coming out off the front stretch, I should say, not the first corner. Now they'll be coming out on the back stretch. Anthony Sitchner pulling away a little bit with a 0.4 second tail, but right behind him, Right behind him is Craig Sykes. We haven't seen Craig Sykes in the at least the top 5 for a little while here tonight, but we're on lap 43, folks, so anything could happen. And it looks like Aaron Burge went into third and took that away from Craig. And it looks like we got Travis Sullenberg closing out the top 5 with Luis Almazo closing in on him. We got a oh, whoa, we got a crash into the wall.
Hey, wake up. Your channel.
Welcome, Kurt, to the broadcast booth. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm good there, boss man. Mine's getting wrecked out. Just got a little loose off the corner, and I'm happy to be in the booth. To join back in, lost network connection, but we had too much damage to join back in the race anyway, so I figured I'd head on up.
The yellow flag is out.
Oh, that's too bad. Let's we got a caution here. Let's find out what happened. Looks like Andrew Ackerman. Let's see. Or it could have been Chris Steele. Hold on. Not quite sure who it was, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to find it here in the replay. How is the track running for you tonight, Kurt, as we watch these guys go into pit lane?
Oh, it was definitely hot and slick out there and progressively getting hot. It was unfortunate that we got wrecked out because I felt like we had a really good long run car, me and my team, and that 15 lap run where we had there, I saw the guys starting to step out. So it's definitely hot and slick out there.
Yeah, we talked to, well, when Josh Sheets was in here, we were interviewing a few of the drivers tonight, and that seems to be the main thing tonight, that it's very, very slick out there.
Right, and with all these guys out there turning laps, I think it's progressively getting hotter. So I think a lot of guys are fighting to get their cars tightened up every time we pit and accommodate with these dynamic tracks.
Right. It looks like Josh Sheets is not Josh Sheets. I'm sorry about that. John Schweckhart is gonna once again be leading this pack. He's really giving these guys a run tonight, or maybe not. Maybe not. It's gonna be him. Let me find out here. It's just a second.
Yeah, I think John's certainly the guy to beat tonight. I think one of his challengers is going to be Anthony Jenner. That's my teammate there. Definitely one of the fastest guys in the room tonight. But John, he's one of the guys to beat, so I've heard, in the Cup Series and ECR, so it's going to be tough to beat him.
Right, it's looking like not Schweikart, but Aaron Burge might be in first. And it is. Aaron Burge took the lead for this caution, ladies and gentlemen.
Should be interesting to see on the restart here how he's able to hold on to that lead.
He's been running in the top 5 though, so he might stand a good chance here. As we look at the top 10 going out of this caution, we got Aaron Burge in first, John Schweikart in second, Anthony Thitchner in third, Stephen Massey in fourth, Craig Sykes in fifth, Mark Bratcher in sixth, Travis Sullenberger in seventh, Luis Salmazo in eighth, Michael Smith in ninth, and Ken Worley rounding out the top 10. And it looks like they're doubling up, getting ready to go green, going back on this back stretch here.
I think we might be in for a decently long green flag run here. It should be interesting to see how these guys do if we do get one, and how these tires fall off, and who's got a good long run car.
Exactly. This race is about half over, with about 49 laps left to go after they cross this finish line. And as you guys can see, the people are doubling up back together. It's real close racing now near the middle of this. Pace car is in, and green flag racing, boys and girls.
Aaron Burge gets a nice jump there on the start, and Anthony Chichon's looking inside of John there.
These guys must be really pushing their cars hard tonight to keep up like this. Oh, Anthony Thitchner got a good push on Aaron Burge. He's looked like he's trying to go around the outside.
The yellow flag is out.
Oh, I was wrong about the long green flag run.
Right? That was a very quick caution, very quick green flag race right there. Not quite sure what happened. Looks like Ken Worley's smoking pretty bad.
Watching the replay, looks like the 85 got a run on the 46, and really he probably should have checked up, caused a huge pile up. But at the end of the day, it looked like it was a racing incident. Certainly no intention. I don't know if the 46 checked up necessarily, or if the 85 just got a nice run there, but that's definitely what caused that one. Many cars causing that.
We're unpaused right now. 46 is backwards coming out of corner number 4 and 99 sideways.
If you go to lap 52, coming out of, I believe 4, that's where you'll see that car accident starting right up it.
It looked like a 5-car crash right there. That could ruin some people's races tonight.
Hey, wake up.
Now I think we're going to see a long green flag run due to the lack of cars left in this race.
And it looks like Louise is done tonight. Let's bring him down to the booth.
User was moved to your channel.
Louise, how you doing tonight there?
Well, I was doing fine up until what just happened. But it happened. Everybody survived. The car did a job. Everybody's safe.
It looks like there was about a 5-car pile up there.
I think it was more than a 5. I think everybody that was coming behind that group got a piece of it, if not the whole thing. So unfortunately, my engine blew up, so I have 50 minutes of required repairs for them to change the engine. So pretty much my race is done. But it was up until this point, the race was pretty good. The race was pretty good. Everybody was racing pretty hard up in front, and we were starting to see a couple different strategies between drivers taking 2 tires, drivers taking 4 tires, driving a little bit harder from the beginning, saving something. I was saving my stuff for the end, letting everybody go. But it's just one of those things. We knew that this race had a pretty big chance of something bad happening, and because of the nature of the track, because everybody runs too close to each other, if something like that happened, probably we were going to collect a lot of cars, and that's unfortunately what happened.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of people have been having issues tonight with the track being really slick.
Yeah, it's one of the challenges from a 1.5-mile track that people normally think it's an easier track for you to drive because we have so many of those. But this conditions, and we are racing pretty much without knowing. We're going into the room with iRacing dynamic system, so we never know the conditions that we're going to get. And we got a very hot track, 112 degrees when we started the race. Pretty sure now it's even hotter than that. You got to be ready, and it's a pretty good test for being an off-season race. This is a pretty good test, pretty good start to the season, and I'm pretty sure we have a car smoking on the track. I think it's the 65 car of Justin Glenn.
All right, looks like these guys are doubling back up and going to be getting ready to go green. And yeah, his car is smoking real bad.
I know that from this front group, Aaron Berge, who's leading, he only took 2 tires in the last pit stop. So it's going to be interesting to see what happened between his strategy and the rest of the field that took 4.
Exactly. And it looks like Aaron Burge is taking first place with Anthony Thitchner right on his bumper.
Yeah, keep an eye on Anthony and John Schweiker. Both guys already diving to the inside. They're going to try to take advantage of the 4 fresh tires that they took in the last pit stop. But the group behind them of Stephen Massey, the 25 of Charles Silver, Travis Sollenberg, they all took 4 tires. They're pretty eager going into this, let's say, the second half of the race. Pretty sure they think they have a pretty good setup under the car, trying to go for the victory.
And it looks like Anthony Thitchner dropped back just a few spots.
Yeah, Anthony restarted pretty well, but then when they came out of 2 into the backstretch in the very first lap of this restart, he got boxed in behind Aaron and on the outside of John Schweiker, so he had no choice other than pretty much hit the brakes. And when that happened, the guys that were coming behind took advantage, dove to the inside, and he got stuck on the outside, had to relinquish the position. Pretty much save his car to fight another battle in the next couple of laps, and that's what he's doing right now.
Exactly. Looks like John Schweikart's got a really good lead here.
And John is one of the most seasoned drivers that we have in this field. A guy that already tried to run for pro, got a pro license at one point, if I'm not mistaken. Especially in this mile-and-a-half tracks, this is his bread and butter. This is where he feels at home, and he told us before the race he had something special. He had a pretty fast setup, and he was going to try to put a show to everybody watching, especially with this paint scheme, supporting autism, supporting this cause. He was going to try to go for the front as soon as he could, and that's what he's doing. Saving nothing, going as fast as he can.
Well, with 39 laps left here, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like he might be pulling away from the rest of the pack. Just by trying to stay as clean as he can.
Scott, if you can, take a look at that battle for second place between Aaron Berge and Travis Sullenberg, and the group of guys coming behind. Aaron fighting with those two tires on the outside, trying to hold off the whole group. But I think the 4 tires that everybody else took are just going to be too strong. I don't think he's going to be able to hold everybody off.
Now, he just lost 2 spots coming out of turn number 2 here. Just because of that reason, I do believe. And it looks like Stephen Macy took 4th place. Right now, John Schweikart has 3 seconds ahead of Travis Sullenberger.
Yeah, one thing that is going to be interesting to see, Scott, is to see if John's not pushing too hard, to see if he's not wearing those tires way too much from this beginning of this run. I know we had a couple of cautions, and I think our biggest green lap stint was around 15 laps. So it's going to be interesting to see if we go green for a longer period of time, to see if his tires start to fall off. Atlanta is a very rough track on the tires, so we need to keep an eye on that thing, see if the distance between him and Travis start to shrink in the next couple of laps, or if he just have a better setup than everybody else, and he's going to continue to open up. So right now he has a 3-second lead between him and Anthony that took over second place from Travis.
Right, and it looks like number 8 got a little loose and had to drive across the infield just a little bit.
Yeah, not only him, but the 66 of Travis that was in second place. That's what happened to him as well. He got loose coming out of 4. Had a pretty rough time trying to get that car under control. Hit the grass on the inside of the front stretch. Rejoined almost in turn 2. So he lost a lot of ground, but he was still able to save his car. I don't think he got any damage. And that car, with the exception of just a couple of scrapes here and there. But he took a beating on those tires. So it was a shame. He was up there in second and working his way toward John.
That is unfortunate for him, but as the track, as hot as it is, it's bound to happen. And it looks like Craig Sykes here is in 3rd place in the 05.
Yeah, Craig is a new driver to this group of guys that mostly consist of elite championship racing drivers and a couple of other teams that joined this race. He's a new driver to this league, to this group of guys, but he's showing right here that he has a lot of stuff under the hood of that Ford Fusion, and he started all the way in the back. If I'm not mistaken, he started 23rd, and right now he's the biggest mover off the field, winning 20 positions. I was racing with him side by side for a couple of laps. He has a pretty good stable car, and he's slowly gaining ground on Anthony, who is very slowly starting to chip in on that lead that John Schweikart built. It's all under 3 seconds.
I'm looking inside the car here of Craig Sykes, and it looks like he's running really smooth, and he's getting a heck of a pull right now.
Yeah, every time here in Atlanta, you can see the driver coming out of the turn without his car wiggling, without him moving that steering wheel way too much, being very gentle on the throttle. You know that he got his car under control, that thing is moving according to what he wants. So it's going to be interesting. He's getting closer to Anthony here.
Oh, and Anthony spins out just a little bit, running it just a little too hard coming out of corner number 4.
Yeah, that was right on cue. Right when I said that when you have the car not wiggling on the exit of turn, that's what happened with Anthony.
But he himself only had a 2-tire change. Is that correct?
I think Anthony took 4. I know that Aaron Berge took 2. I'm not sure. Oh, Anthony scrapes the wall on turn 4 right now. Those tires are screaming hot, so I'm not sure. We're going to have to ask him after the race.
He might have to take an unexpected pit stop just so he can run. And John Schweikart is yet again in the lead, ladies and gentlemen, with 27 laps to go. And Craig Sykes is trying. He's gaining very little, but he's gaining on John Schweikart here.
Yeah, John just went by Chuck Harrell, who ended up getting caught in that wreck that took me out as well. But you can see the difference in tires, even with a lot of damage that Chuck has on his car, because he has a lot fresher tires. He's being able not only to keep up with John, but sometimes even get close to him.
It looks like he did sustain a little bit of damage, but not enough to put him out. But unfortunately, he is at least probably 2 laps down.
Chuck's actually 16 laps down because he had to stay in the pits for repairs. But this is a good thing about this particular tournament. We do have a drop race among these 4. So your worst result is going to be eliminated, which allows you to have a bad run. So it's a good thing. He's trying to get as many positions as he can. That's going to help him if he ends up getting a bad result in the races to come.
And that's a good thing to know, because, if you're running really strong at the rest of the races in this tournament, you really don't want this one to hinder you in any way possible.
Yeah, it gives you an extra out, an extra possibility that if you don't have such a bad result here, you may still have a DNF in another race or something happening that is not going to render you too bad in the total points. So we are going to do a sum of the total points of everybody. Whoever wins the race he's going to get a 3-point bonus, and that's the only bonus that we're going to get. Other than that, it's standard points. Oh, we have a car spinning in 1 and 2. I think that's Terry Griffey on the number 9 Type Ford Fusion. He just went around in 1 and 2, right in front of the leader, Schweikart. But he saved it. He didn't hit anything, apparently, and he kept his Ford Fusion going.
Looks like he's still a little loose, so I think he might be going to the pits.
Yeah, he got a lot of damage in that car. He's doing pretty much what Chuck was trying to do. He was still in the lead lap. He was trying to get the best finish possible. Now, if that car is still running good, he can come to the pit road, get a couple of things fixed, change tires, and take advantage for these last 23 laps.
Right, and hopefully it won't put him too far behind with John Schweikart rounding corner number 4 here. We'll be going at 21 laps remaining.
It's going to be interesting to see who's going to try to go the distance and not pit, and who's going to be hitting pit road soon, because they are going with 14 laps on those tires, and depending on how slow you're going, depending on the speed that you're having, we have enough laps still to the end where guys might take a pit stop, get 4 fresh tires, and come back blazing fast, trying to make their way to the pit through the field.
Right, it looks like right now these guys are a little wobbly coming out of corner number 2.
Yeah, remember what we were talking about, different strategies. You see John took off like a bullet, open a huge margin. Now you see the number 05 of Craig Sykes and the 21 of Steven slowly getting close. They're almost a second behind now. They, at one point, were 3.5 seconds behind. So you see the difference in the way that you drive, the way that you prepare, and the way that you save, especially in these long runs. It's starting to pay off for the 05. He's right behind John now with less than a second behind. And I don't think there's much John can do because the difference in speed right now is tremendous.
No, and their Craig Sykes go right on the inside, passing John Schweikart.
Yeah, we have a lot of guys that apparently pitted to get for new tires.
It looks like it was worth it there, though, Louise.
If I was on the track right now, I would be looking into possibly getting fresh tires right now. You still have 17 laps to go. There's still enough time that you can go in, and because the drop-off is going to be very, very significant. They're running right now. Craig's our new leader. Last lap was around 30.8. That is a lot of time. They were qualifying at 27.8. The initial laps of this run were around 28 flat, so it's a almost 3 second difference. Imagine if you pit right now, get fresh tires, come back, running 3.5 seconds faster than everybody else. We're talking about a 30-second lap. You would have more than 10 laps. You would catch everybody, even if you go a lap down. Look the difference in speed from Aaron that pitted, took a lap down, but is now coming back. Look at the difference, the way that he goes by the leaders.
That is insane. I mean, you wouldn't think there'd be that much of a time difference, but you see it here, ladies and gentlemen, that it's completely different. And as Louise was saying, he's right. The qualified times and not qualified practice times were 27 to 28 seconds, and the leader is running 31.2 seconds. He just ran. Oh, looks like a caution as well.
He involved the 21 and the 09. Oh, the 21 was on the outside. Terry Griffey on the 9 just pitted. He had fresh tires. He was coming on the inside, trying to get by Steven. And with those very worn tires on the outside, coming out of the front stretch of the tri-oval, he lost the back of the car. He got loose, tried to correct it, but the back of the car just went around, and he collected the number 9. Had nothing to do with it. It was just a passenger up to that point.
Let's see if I can find it here, ladies and gentlemen, for you. Right there. It looks like 21 took a bit of damage too. I don't know if he'll be able to finish this race tonight.
We'll see. We'll see if the damage was too big for the engine. If the engine's running, you can go. The problem is if you hit something way too hard in the front of the car.
And it looks like the driver's side is beat up pretty bad, but with 13 laps remaining, I don't know if he's going to bother pitting or just try to see if he can run it as is.
Scott, now we have a race because we're going to have 10 laps to go once this caution ends. And as we've seen before, I believe the fastest guy on the track in a short run is John Schweiker. But he's starting second behind Craig Sykes. And he has Anthony Titchener right behind him. So it's going to be one of those crazy, crazy events where we have very fast guys in the short run, in the short stints, with fresh tires coming from behind trying to get that lead.
Let's
That if they are the leaders, if we didn't have anybody that stayed out, tried to get that lead.
let's pull John down in here again, see what his plans here when we got 10 laps to go.
I'd guess so wrong. God almighty.
John, welcome to the broadcast booth. What are your plans for the last 10 laps of this race when it goes green?
Well, fortunately, it fell right into my hands. I guessed so wrong on the run, talking earlier that, how hot the track was. I loosened it up quite a bit for the run, and I got so loose I couldn't touch the gas. But this car is so fast on a short run. I'm not trying to brag, but I mean, it is really, really fast on a short run. So, fortunately, it played in my favor. I'm going to go really hard.
It looks like you've had a heck of a run on everybody tonight, pulling away from them for like the last 20 laps or so.
Yeah, I mean, like the start of the run, especially that last one, that was a lot of fun. It took off like a rocket ship, and then all of a sudden, I mean, after about 15 laps, the right rear just got so hot that I couldn't touch the gas. I was going up the hill trying to get the turn, and Craig he just kept digging and got right on by me. So hopefully with this short run here, we can get out front before a caution happens and call it a victory. That's the plan.
All right, Mr. Schwecker, I will bump you back up, and hopefully we can see you in the top 5 at least, or at least the top 3, as you've been running this race very hard.
Well, sounds good, man. I'm going to give it all I got. And good luck to you in the broadcast. I hope everybody's enjoyed the night. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, I hope so too. I'll send you back up now, sir.
Thanks, sir.
User was moved out of your channel.
Well, Scott, I think we called it right when we said that he was looking forward to this short run, knew that what his car is capable of, and it's going to be interesting. Now we have Craig Sykes in first, John Schweiker second, Anthony Titchener third, Charles Silver running fourth, Nicole Johnson running fifth, Stephen Massing, even with that crash, still running sixth, John Cuttle running seventh, and Aaron Berge running eighth as they come out of turn 4, going for that final 10 laps. Hopefully, we're going to run caution-free, and let's see who can take it home.
All right, it is green flag, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see who wins this 10-lap shootout here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Let's see how long John's going to wait, or if he's going to go right after Craig, right from the beginning, and I think that's what he's doing.
Oh, he's giving it all he's got. He really wants this, ladies and gentlemen.
Side by side.
And it looks like coming in the corner number 1, he's going to take first position, leaving Craig in second with Anthony Titchener in third.
Yeah, but I don't think Craig's going to let him go that easy. He's right in his bumper. This is going to be an interesting time to see if Craig has a long run car and that's why he was able to catch John back, or if that was just strategy, the way that he was driving. He can keep up. It was just him saving the tires, saving the equipment for a long run. Or right now, he's keeping it less than 3/10 behind the number 1. So
as long as he doesn't let it fall back any less than that, I think he might be fine, but it's looking like he dropped back quite a bit. He's now at almost half a second behind John Schweikart.
Well, you can see that John's pushing everything that he can from that car. Coming out of turn 2, the outside tire was smoking so much pressure that his car was putting on that outside. They're really everything that they have right now.
Yes, they are. They're trying. They're pushing their cars to the most, as we have 6 laps remaining.
And this is the gamble. You need to go as fast as you can, almost to the brink of losing control, knowing that one little mistake, you're going to go around and you're going to lose position. So it's a gamble. I need to go as far as I can, putting everything on the line. And to make matters worse, I think they're going to get a lap car right in front of them of pre-steal the 92 car.
Oh, I don't know what happened there, but that's... Wow, that is 92. I don't know if you've been noticing this, Louise, but John's blinking in and out a little bit.
Yeah, from time to time, I think his connection, the ping on his connection is just resetting with the server. But it's nothing major, nothing. He doesn't lag out of the server or anything like that. It's just small little connection glitches. But he's back without a problem. He never loses actually control or contact with the server.
Okay, because that would be such an upset to be leading almost this entire race and all of a sudden lag right out with 3 laps remaining. Looks like there's about 2 seconds between Greg Sykes and Anthony Thitchner. And about 1.3 seconds between John Schweikart and Craig Sykes.
Yeah, with 2 laps to go right now, unless something happens, I think John had opened up a big of enough lead to secure himself a win in this first race. I think he pushed hard enough to open a comfortable lead that he can just control the car in these next 2 laps with almost 1 to go and bring it home. And I think everybody else in the field did the same thing. Here we go, last lap.
White flag, and he is running at 28.93. 2 seconds more than what he was running earlier in this race.
Yeah, remember that at the end of that green lap run, they were running at 31s. So you can see how much of a difference are those fresh 4 tires. Here we come, coming out of turn 4, John Schweikart, the number 1 car, starting on the pole, taking home the win.
Congratulations, he really deserved that win tonight. He was pushing that car to the limits.
Now, he really had a pretty fast car all night long, knew what he had, was very not modest at all to say that he had a very fast car. He knew what he had. Really good race for him. Really good race from Craig Sykes coming out from the back of the pack, finishing second, taking the lead. If that race, that green lap race was still going, he would have a really, really good shot of winning this race. With Anthony Titchner coming home third, very strong race for him as well.
And here we are getting a burnout from John Schweikart.
Let's see if we can have a word with Anthony, our 3rd place finish. Let me try to pull him inside the booth right now very quickly.
User was moved to your channel.
Hey, Anthony, Louise here in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir.
All right, 3rd place finish. Very entertaining race. A lot of give and take, a lot of overtaking, a lot of loose cars, crashes. Let us know, how did you feel behind of that Busch number 87? You were up front. You led the race a couple laps, if I'm not mistaken. How was running this first race in Atlanta?
Oh, it was a lot of fun, man. I didn't feel like I had a winning car. I didn't feel like I had a top 5 car, but we were able to just keep track this shit and keep it under us and just try to make it through all the wrecks there. And stay out of trouble. It was fun, man. A lot of work there on the long run. It was like a brick on an ice hockey rink. About 20, 30 laps in, we were just doing all we could to keep it off the wall. But definitely a fun one, man. We'll definitely be back to the next one.
All right, it was a pretty good starting stop for this new season. Getting back into the car, getting back into setup building in a track this hot, this challenging.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. We did a lot of Daytona testing, and Atlanta's the other track that we've been doing a lot of racing at. So it's been fun, man, and I look forward to where we at next week. Is it Charlotte?
Charlotte and Knight.
Yeah, it'll be fun, man.
Awesome, and congratulations to third place. Awesome run. Thanks. We'll see you again next week for sure.
All right, bud. Thank you, and hope everybody enjoyed.
10-4. That was our third place finish. Let's see if I can get Craig Sykes, our second place finish, up down here. Get a word with him.
User was moved to your channel.
Hey, Craig, Louise here in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here with it.
All right. Second place finish. You probably were the only guy in the long run that had something for John Schweiker. Caught him after that long green lap run. Had better tires from what we could tell. Led the race. If it was not for that last caution, you probably could have pulled off a win in this race starting way in the back. How was it running with this group of guys in this track, this slick, this complicated? Tell us a little bit about what you took out of this race.
Oh, well, man, I just got to say a big thanks to you, man, for putting this race up for the first place for this IRACE4AWARENESS. As far as the green flag run goes, I was loving the car and the long run. But as soon as I saw that yellow flag come out, I knew I was curtains because I knew John had a great short run car. Starting from the back, I didn't really expect much. I was just going to make my way forward slowly. Then I found myself in the top 5. And the car felt good in the long run, man.
Yeah, we could tell that you were starting to started a little bit easy. We didn't know if that was just the setup that you had or just the strategy that you were driving. But on the long run, you probably had the best situation on everybody else. Tough break that we had this last caution that have made everybody bunched back together. But next week, we have Charlotte race at night. You're going to be back for round 2. What are your plans for this season, these last couple of races?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be back, man. I mean, tonight were a lot of fun. I know we had that big wreck. I don't know, about halfway through. Got rid of a lot of good drivers. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the next race, man. Just a bit disappointed I didn't get that W, but that's racing. It happens sometimes. I just want to give a big shout out to my teammates at BGR, Blown Gasket Racing. A great bunch of guys. Recently finished the 24 Hours of Daytona, both cars that we were running, so that was a major accomplishment for us. And yeah, just thanks, guys.
All right, Craig. Thanks very much. Congratulations again, and we'll see you in Charlotte for I'm sure for a very, very good race again. Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, cheers, Lewis.
User was moved out.
Let's see if we can bring down the winner now for last couple of words.
User was moved to your channel.
Hey, John, Luis here in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Hey, what's up, brother?
What's up? Well, congratulations again. We pulled you down here with 10 to go. You talked with Scott about what was the strategy. You led most of this race, had a pretty fast car, started up front, and from what it sounded, you knew what you had for this late restart. And from what we could tell, you was just flooring, getting everything out of the car. Just let us know a little bit about what happened in this final restart, just how the whole thing came down.
I mean, the final restart was basically just go as hard as you possibly can and what you got. And you know what? I kind of screwed up early in this race. Like I just went hard from the beginning. I wanted to see how bad. I was kind of using this as a test. I don't think we've been to Atlanta in a while, and I wanted to see how hard I pushed it, how bad I'd wear the tires out. And I found that out on that long run. I went way too hard. But the bonus was I knew I had a really, really, really good short run car. And unfortunately for Craig, who ran an awesome on that long run, that caution did come out, and it was just go as hard as I could. I set him up going into 3. I backed out just a touch early, pulled down to the apron, and it stuck and gassed her up, and I got that run on him and passed him out of 4. And just, man, I was just hitting my marks after that, just looking forward. Didn't even look in the mirror.
10 for and we knew that we had once that thing went green, you had a pretty good chance of. We didn't know if his car was just a long run car or if he was just saving it up in the beginning. He was going to get you a run for the money in that final race, but came home with the win. First win of this iRacing Winter Challenge for IRACE4AWARENESS that we're trying to put together. Next week, Charlotte, another 1.5 miles. I know the 1.5 miles are the tracks that you really like to run, really feel at home. And this is next race, just for people at home that are not very familiar with the difference between the tracks. It's kind of a similar setup, or just because they are 1.5 miles, it's a different track, it's a different thing, brings different challenges. I know the race is at night, so you have that component, making the track a lot cooler, and we're probably going to see a lot closer racing from everybody, right?
Yeah, in a sense. The quick two on the difference, even though they're 1.5 miles, is this one eats tires so much faster. The other one, it's been a fresh repave, so I mean the speeds are just going to be up there. You can run consistently lap after lap, just blazing. Here you'll fall off 3.5 seconds over just 30 laps. There you'll be lucky to fall off 1 3/4 seconds after 30 laps. So speeds are going to be really fast there. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that one as well. Totally different setups. This one you got to get over the bumps. There it's just smooth and fast.
Awesome. So probably going to be one hell of a race. Well, John, congratulations again, winning the first round of this tournament. Have a very good night, a good week of preparations, and we'll see you next week for sure.
Yeah, thanks, Luis, for putting this on, and thanks, Scott, for broadcasting. I hope that whoever watches this or subscribes to the channel, I hope they really enjoyed the show. It seemed like a lot of fun throughout the field, a lot of good racing. Had some, ECR guys and some guys from Kenner's Camp and some guys from that iRacing Lounge. So it was a lot of fun to be with everybody, and I just really hope that anybody that watches it really had a good time and understands, that this is that we're putting on for a good cause. And I got a friend, just want to tell him I'm thinking about him. His last name's Kenner. He knows, he'll watch it. Thinking about you, buddy.
10 for John. Great words. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next round. Congratulations again, buddy.
All right, thanks, man.
There you go, Scott. Our first 3 guys, first 3 racing. You called the whole thing. You let us know, what do you think of this entire race, this first round of the IRACE4AWARENESS Winter Challenge?
I thought it was a very, very good race. As we were talking with some of the drivers, this track today was extremely slick, given the high temperatures of it, and people were giving it their all, and John Schweikart really was pushing it and really led most of the laps here. But, all these other people that joined in the race today, they were really pushing it as well. We had quite a few position changes over the time, and, it's unfortunate for those that did not finish the race, but I know that they were giving it their all themselves.
Well, and we appreciate you broadcasting, the entire the team from the channel. Hopefully everybody had a pretty good race. I know it was fun while I was inside the car battling with everybody, but we'll be back next week. We'll be back next week with a vengeance, trying to get a better result.
Yes, I hope so. I hope for you that you're able to finish next week's race. I enjoy broadcasting this. I enjoy broadcasting. We'll be broadcasting for the trucks, and I hope to that next week we can have as good as the race we had today, if not better. As you stated, it will be Charlotte at night, so the track will be cooler, so people will be running much, much faster and much tighter. And given those things, it's going to be some real close racing.
Yeah, for anybody that never saw a race at Charlotte, you guys are in for a treat, because it's one of the fastest, most challenging tracks that we have in the iRacing season. So it's going to be a blast. So please tune in next Sunday again at 9 o'clock Eastern. Tune in at Scotty B, the channel, and you're going to be in for a treat.
Yes, that is youtube.com/ScottyB. Yeah, you can actually just subscribe at the bottom if you haven't already, or if you just want to tune in and watch, that's quite fine as well. This is race number 1 for the IRACE4AWARENESS Winter Challenge Tournament, and I hope to see you all next week. And I'd like to thank you, Louise, for joining me in the broadcast booth. I'd like to thank Josh Sheets for joining me in the broadcast booth while he could. And there was one other person that was in here, Kurt Quist. He talked for a little bit, and I'd like to thank him for joining us in the broadcast booth tonight, as well as all the drivers that we pulled in here.
Awesome, but thanks so much for the job, and everybody at home, have a really good night.
Yes, thank you again, and I hope you guys all have a great night too.